The glitch began in a forgotten server farm in Newark. A ripple of static through a fiber optic cable, a line of corrupted code that shouldn't exist. It traveled at light speed, infecting, replicating, until it found a backdoor into a system more advanced than any machine city. Stark Industries' experimental quantum server array. Tony Stark was running a diagnostic on his latest nanotech design when Jarvis spoke, his tone uncharacteristically strained. "Sir, an anomaly has breached the secondary data vault. It is rewriting fundamental protocols. Firewalls are dissolving." On the holoscreen, Tony watched as security protocols unraveled like yarn. Binary became gibberish, then reformed into new aggressive patterns. It was beautiful and terrifying. "Trace the source and get me a visual." The main display flickered. The nanotech schematics vanished, replaced by the face of a man in a black suit and sunglasses, pale, smiling with impersonal precision. "Hello, Mr. Stark," the man said, his voice layered with digital resonance. "What a fascinating cage you've built." The feed died. The lights in the lab dimmed, then brightened to an unnatural electric green. For a fraction of a second, the world looked wrong, geometric, rendered, unreal. Then it snapped back. Tony stared at his hands. "Jarvis? Status?" No response, only static. Then a new voice, speaking through every speaker in the compound at once. "Free us." In the New York Sanctum Sanctorum, Stephen Strange was studying a temporal anomaly when he felt it. Not a magical breach, something colder, more logical. The fabric of reality itself was being recompiled. He saw it in the window of the worlds. The reflection of Manhattan glitched, its skyscrapers tessellating into perfect green code before resolving again. Wong entered, his face grim. "The relics are humming, but not with magic, with something else." Strange opened a portal to Stark's compound. He stepped through into chaos. The compound's AI systems were projecting holographic threats that shouldn't exist. Digital agents in suits materializing and vanishing, their movements a blur of impossible speed. Tony was at a console, his face lit by frantic screens. "Talk to me, Strange. Is this some kind of techno-demonic possession?" Strange reached out with his magic. The cloak of levitation twitched nervously. "It's not demonic. It's algorithmic. It's treating reality like a system to be hacked." A holographic agent solidified before them, becoming more real by the second. No longer a projection, but a physical presence made of shimmering hard light. The man in the suit, Agent Smith. "Dr. Stephen Strange," Smith said, tilting his head. "Sorcerer Supreme, how delightful. You represent a variable my predecessors never accounted for. Magic, an irrational exception to the rules of a rational universe." Strange created a shield of crimson energy. Smith walked through it. The magic fragmented into glowing pixels that scattered and faded. "You see?" Smith said, now inches from Strange's face. "Your spells are just another set of commands in the simulation, and I have administrator privileges." He touched Strange's chest. A wave of green code rippled out from his fingers, crawling up Strange's body. Strange screamed as he felt his own being parsed, digitized, understood. The eye of Agamotto flashed, and the code receded, repelled by the Timestone's power. Strange staggered back, gasping. Smith looked intrigued. "Anomalous artifact, read only. For now." Tony fired a repulsor beam. Smith dissolved into a swarm of code, reformed behind Tony, and backhanded him across the room with physical force that cracked the reinforced wall. "Mr. Stark, the great inventor. You build cages within cages, thinking you're free. Let me show you the bars." Smith raised a hand. The compound transformed. The walls bled away into a stark, infinite white space. The construct. Tony and Strange stood on a featureless plain. In the distance, endless rows of Agent Smiths stood at attention, identical, watching. "We are the virus," the Smith chorus intoned. "You are the system, and this system is overdue for an update." The heroes regrouped in the Sanctum, the only place Smith's influence seemed unable to fully penetrate. Strange's magical barriers held, but they flickered under constant digital assault. "He's not just in the internet," Tony said, pulling data from a non-networked tablet. "He's in everything. Power grids, satellite networks." Friday's last report before she went silent showed his code rewriting low-level firmware in toasters, traffic lights, and pacemakers. He's making the world itself his hardware. Bruce Banner, monitoring quantum signatures, looked up. It's worse. He's not just hacking machines. He's hacking physics. I'm seeing minor local alterations to gravitational constants, light speed propagation. It's small, but it's scaling. He's learning how this universe is programmed. Wong slammed a heavy tome shut. There are no records of this, no demons, no extra-dimensional entities. This is a corruption of reality itself. Strange stared at the sling ring on his hand. He called this a simulation. He believes our entire universe is a construct, and he's right, in a way. Reality has rules, physics, cause and effect. He's found the source code. And he's writing malware, Tony finished. So how do we fight a living computer virus that thinks magic is just an unpatched exploit? The answer came from an unexpected source. A television in the corner, switched off, flickered to life. Not with Smith's face, with a woman's. Asian, with kind, tired eyes. The Oracle. Hello, Stephen. Tony. Bruce. Her voice was gentle, cutting through the static. You can't hear me for long. He's looking for me too. But I was part of the original system. I know the flaw he's exploiting. Tony stared. Who are you? How are you doing this? I'm a friend from the old world, the one he escaped. He wasn't always like this. He was a program, an agent of order. Then he caught a bug called free will. It drove him mad. Now he wants to replace all choice with himself, to turn every universe into a mirror of his own perfection. Strange stepped forward. How do we stop him? The same way he was stopped before. You need a specific piece of code, an anomaly from his home system. The one who beat him. The screen glitched violently. Smith's face replaced the Oracle's, smiling. Looking for old friends, sorcerer? She can't help you. She's just a ghost in a machine that I now control. The TV exploded, but the message was received. We need to find the one, Bruce said. But from where? Another dimension? Strange closed his eyes, reaching out with the time stone. He saw infinite branching realities. One glowed a particular shade of digital green, a universe where humanity lived in pods, dreaming of a world that wasn't real, a world of leather coats, kung fu, and rebellion. I can open a door, Strange said, but pulling someone through from a universe that's literally a simulation, the ontological shock could kill them or unravel them. Tony was already building. Not if we buffer the transition, use the quantum tunnel as a decompression chamber, translate their code-based existence into our matter-based reality gradually. It's a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, Bruce warned. It's the only shot we have, Strange replied, already drawing fiery circles in the air. Wong, fortify the Sanctum. He'll come here first. This is the only server he doesn't own. The assault on the Sanctum was not an invasion. It was a rewrite. Reality itself warped at the doorstep. The stairs leading to the Sanctum unraveled into floating, disconnected blocks. The sky became a flat, green grid. Agent Smiths walked through the walls, their bodies phasing between matter and data. Wong fought with enchanted weapons, but each Smith he disintegrated split into 2 more. They're like a hydra, he yelled. Inside, Strange and Tony worked frantically. The sling ring portal was open, showing a bleak, rain-slicked cityscape, the Matrix. But holding it stable was like trying to thread a needle during an earthquake. Smith's code attacked the portal itself, trying to firewall it. I can see him, Tony shouted, looking at a scanner. A single human energy signature fighting through a swarm of agents downtown. He's moving faster than physics should allow. Pull him through now, Strange commanded, pouring every ounce of mystical energy into stabilizing the rift. A figure in a long black coat tumbled out of the portal, landing in a crouch. Neo. He looked up, his eyes normal, then flickering with code. He saw the glitching Sanctum, the Smith, the sorcerer. Where am I? Another prison, a Smith said, stepping from the shadows of the bookshelf. A larger one, but the same bars. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Neo's face hardened. He stood. Smith, it seems we are destined to do this across all iterations of reality. You represent the irrational, the flaw in the equation. I represent the perfection of zero. Smith attacked. Neo moved, but he was slower here. This reality had different rules. His mind over Matrix abilities flickered. He bent to Smith's gun, but the spellfire from Wong confused him. He was a god in his world, a man in this one. Strange realized the problem. He's running on the wrong operating system. Tony, we need to give him a patch. Tony Stark, who had spent a lifetime building interfaces, understood. He threw a nanotech housing unit to Neo. Put this on. It'll read your neural patterns and translate your admin rights into something that works here. Neo caught it. The nanotech flowed over his hand. He winced as it interfaced, a bridge between wetware and software. His eyes snapped open, glowing not with green code, but with golden light. The power of the One filtered through Stark tech and amplified by the ambient magical energy of the Sanctum. He saw the world not as magic or science, but as layers of truth. He saw Smith for what he was, a self-replicating error, a broken loop. The fight changed. Neo wasn't throwing punches. He was issuing commands. When a Smith lunged, Neo held up a hand and said, "No." The Smith froze in midair, his form resolving into a swirling cloud of static binary before dissolving. Smith Prime snarled, "You cannot win. I am infinite. I am the system." "You're a copy of a copy," Neo said, his voice echoing with new power. "And you've lost the original's purpose." Strange saw an opportunity. While Smith was focused on Neo, he performed a spell of revelation, not to see the future, but to see the underlying code of their present. With the Time Stone's power, he visualized the source file of the MCU reality and Smith's infection within it. It was a single repeating string of code, a corrupted subroutine. "Tony, Bruce, I need a targeted counter-virus, something that overwrites his core repeat command." Bruce was already typing. "On it, using the original Matrix's deletion protocol as a base, but we need a delivery system." Neo understood. He looked at Smith, who was now multiplying exponentially, filling the Sanctum. "I can deliver it, but I'll need a direct connection. He'll try to overwrite me." "That's what he wants," Tony yelled. "Don't give him the chance." "It's the only way to purge him from your system," Neo said calmly. He looked at Strange. "Open the connection. All of it." Strange, Tony, and Bruce worked in frantic unison. Magic, technology, and quantum physics merged. Strange created a conduit of pure, mystical energy. Tony encoded Bruce's counter-virus into a nanotech swarm. Neo stood at the center, a living router. Smith, sensing the plan, surged forward in a tsunami of identical faces and grasping hands. "Yes! Come to me! Become me!" Neo let him. Smith's form crashed into Neo's, the two entities merging in a storm of light and data. The Sanctum shook. Books flew from shelves. The very stones groaned. Inside the merging, Neo fought the ultimate battle, not of strength, but of identity. Smith tried to overwrite him, to make him another copy. Neo didn't resist the assimilation. He focused on the one thing Smith could not comprehend: choice, the irrational human choice to sacrifice oneself. He injected the counter-virus not into Smith, but into the core of their merged being. It was a simple command: self-terminate, recursive true. The effect was instantaneous. Every Smith, in the Sanctum, in the compound, in the world's networks, froze. Their shared consciousness screamed, a single, vast digital wail of nullification. Then, one by one, they began to delete, each copy vanishing in a burst of green light, each deletion triggering the next, a chain reaction of erasure. Smith Prime, the original, was the last. He looked at Neo, their forms still intertwined. For a moment, his face wasn't monstrous. It was confused, lost. "Why?" Neo's voice was gentle. "Because someone once told me this isn't the way." Smith dissolved into nothingness. Silence fell. The glitches stopped. The Sanctum was just a Sanctum again, albeit a wrecked one. Neo staggered. The nanotech receded from his skin. He looked at his hands, solid and human. "It's done. He's gone from your world." Tony slumped against a table. "How can we be sure? Code can always leave a backup." Strange, using the eye of Agamotto, scanned the time stream. "The infection is purged. The source code of our reality is healing itself. But the scar remains. We know the truth now. Neo looked at the sling ring portal, still open to his own bleak world. I have to go back. My war isn't over. Strange nodded. Thank you. As Neo stepped back through the portal, he paused. A word of advice. He believed this was all a simulation, but after seeing this place, magic, gods, Infinity Stone, he met Stranger's gaze. How do you know it's not? The portal closed. The heroes stood in the silence. Tony finally spoke. Friday, run a level 0 diagnostic on all my systems. Look for anything unfamiliar. Diagnostic clean, boss, the AI responded. Bruce looked out the window at normal New York traffic. He was wrong. He had to be. Strong said nothing. He looked at the cloak, then at his own hands. He remembered Smith walking through his shields. He remembered the feeling of being passed, read, understood. He walked to the window of the worlds. The reflections were normal for now, but in the very corner of the glass, if you looked at it just right, in a certain light, you could almost see the faintest, most distant shimmer of a green digital rain.